Sean Rice from HOSS Magazine, and we are here in beautiful downtown Toronto at the Scotland Yard Pub with our latest covers, Justin Ryan and Colin McAllister. Great to have you guys on board.
Great
It's
to be
interesting
here.
to hear ourselves referred to as Justin Ryan and Colin McAllister, because normally people just say Colin and Justin.
That's right. Well, you
the
know,
full identity today.
I wanted to be formal since we are sitting in a nice Scottish pub. I couldn't find an Irish pub, so we got a
that would've been
Scottish
a
pub.
bad
This is good. No, you can call us Colin and Justin.
All right. Well, Colin and Justin, thank you very much for being here. So, I had some kind of different questions for you guys.
Yeah.
You guys are from Scotland. How did you end up from Scotland coming to Canada?
Do you know what? We've been making television for the best part of 20 years, and around about 10 or 12 years ago, our British shows were showing on a network in Canada, and they started to do really well. So we came across to do a promotion for one of them. It was called How Not to Decorate, and before long we were asked by the network if we would do a Canadian exclusive show. So we did a show called Home Heist,
Right.
and the rest is history. We came across essentially for that trip, and we never went home.
Yeah, it was the oddest thing. You know, we had no idea, what life was like in Canada. We'd never been to Canada before. And we pitched up to do the fall home show in Toronto and the
Right.
fall home show in Vancouver. And loads of crazy Canadians in football tops and kilts and all sorts of nonsense came out, and we were like, oh, okay, I think we can feel at home here.
Wow. You know, I remember years ago watching the £1 Million Experiment.
Yeah.
And that, to me, I think that's kind of what got me interested in the whole sort of home flipping thing. I really did enjoy that show.
Oh, good. Do you know, the £1 Million Property Experiment was one of the first shows that we did in Britain. We had done, I guess, daytime television, smaller weekend reno shows, but £1 Million was our big kind of redefining moment. And the premise was, could we start with a house worth the average cost of a home in Britain, that being around about £100,000 at the time? And could we, via many moves and changes and flips, end up in a house worth over £1 million? And we actually did it in 7 moves. We went from 100 grand to 1.25 million. And it was a big deal for us in Britain because it was the start of big time property shows, when the property show juggernaut really strangled the world and everybody was interested. So it's a great project.
And it was very much a calling card for us. That program went international,
Oh, that was an awesome show.
which was amazing.
And it was interesting, the sort of the dynamics with the contractor at the time, right, who kind of left and then came back again in the end. So I know you did governmental studies in university, and you did psychology, if I'm correct.
He's a psychologist.
Oh,
I did
there you
governmental
go.
studies, and I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? How you go on a bit of a path, And I think Justin and I both worked. We both worked the 9 to 5. We used to get the bus to work, but we always wanted to do something else. And when we first moved in together, and we bought our first apartment, weirdly enough, it was in a warehouse in Glasgow called Canada Court.
Oh, there you go.
And it was where they used to ship things to Canada. Who knew that we'd actually kind of like ship ourselves many years later? But we moved in together, and we always wanted to have a bigger house in a better part of town.
Right.
But we started small, and we flipped our way up and moved up our own property ladder.
Nice.
So it was kind of nice that suddenly that became more important, and we found that we were actually quite good at it. So we started to write for newspapers and magazines. We got a really great job with a brilliant London national magazine, and suddenly we just weren't doing our 9 to 5s anymore, which is great. So it's amazing that we now are in a position where we make a living from our vocation.
Right. It's funny how things change as time goes by. So, Game of Homes coming out. Tell us about Game of Homes.
Do you know, Game of Homes is for us one of the most exciting projects that we've worked on. It's on the W Network, and it airs Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Now, the premise of Game of Homes is that 4 competing duos are each renovating bungalows, and over the course of the renovation series, 8 weeks, Colin and I judge the strengths and the weaknesses, and at the end of the series, the winning couple actually win their house. Now, It's not just a house. There have been 4 bungalows which have been monster moved from land that's been cleared for redevelopment, and they've been brought to an area just outside Toronto, planked back down on the ground, and they're furnished by the couples who are renovating. And at the end, when we choose the winners, the winning bungalow is then picked back up and taken across land and
nice.
popped back down on a plot of ground, which is also part of the prize, along with all the furniture inside the house.
Wow, very cool, very cool.
Yeah, that's kind of how desperate people are to get on the property ladder.
Right. So, what's it like being a judge?
Do you know, I think it's good being a judge because we're not judgmental just for the sake of it. I think we say it like it is. We've been called the say it like it is Scots before. And I think we're very honest. But at the same time, we're trying to bring out the best in people. Justin's very emotional when it comes to these things. So I think I'm maybe more a bit Simon Cowell, he's more Paula Abdul.
Have a good week.
He has a good old week through it. But we wanted to not be judges, we wanted to be more like mentors and take our contestants on a journey with us, rather than crush someone's dreams in the first week, saying, okay, these are your strengths, but these are your weaknesses, these are the things that you're going to have to actually fix in the next few weeks. And I think it was a really good experience for us, because actually they really took us up on our information, so it was good two-way traffic. So it's not just us saying you're wrong and them going away and sulking. You actually feel that there's some development and some growth. And I think the viewers are going to get something from it as well, because they're going to get great characters. They're going to get the whole reality show thing. But also they're going to see houses that they recognise, really ordinary homes, become extraordinary.
Right.
And that's very much what we're about. We like takeaway information. We want the viewers to go, okay, that's me. They're the problems I have in my house. We could fix that.
Right. And what's the future hold for Colin and Justin?
Well, we've got so many different things on the go at the moment, Sean. We're doing our eponymous show, Colin and Justin's Cabin Pressure, which is on the Cottage Life Network. It airs on Sundays at 9.
Season
And
3?
We're on to season 3 at the moment. It's been amazing. We never expected moving to Canada that we would become flippers as such. And we certainly didn't expect that we would become flippers. So we bought a cottage in Muskoka, tricked it out big time, and we ended up selling it, and we did really well on it. So we thought, let's buy another one. So we bought in Halliburton for the second time, and we bought a really rundown shit shack, and we turned it into a glorious little cabin. So that's our place now. So we go up there every single weekend, and because it did so well, the network asked for a season 3. So we had to trick it out a little bit and make it feel different in terms of the content. So we bought a third cabin. We've called it Plan B because it was the Plan B after our own cabin. And we've created what we think is Canada's perfect rental. And we have really maxed it out with an outdoor sauna, with a hot tub. We've got outdoor showers. We've got 2.5
Colin and Justin.
We have! Yeah, we've Colin McAllister and Justin Ryanised it to use Sean's
bizarre,
word.
isn't it? We are the new Canadian mountain men. This is what they look like. It used to be kind of Grizzly Adams.
More like Grizzly Madams, Colin.
Exactly.
So, I have a cottage, and I love the cottage. My wife's been cottaging for her entire life. You're either a cottager or you're not a cottager, right? So how did you guys, you don't come across originally as a cottage type guy, and now I understand you're really passionate about it.
But we love it. We had visited other people's cottages, as
Sure.
guests before. And we were like, okay, this is like a Canadian secret, kind of North American secret, that you actually can escape the city, you can get out of the traffic, and stop looking at your watch, stop being on your computer, and talk about the weather, talk about the quality of the water, talk about the fishing, talk about the animals, talk about the condition of the trees. And it's a weird thing, it actually does something to you. It really restores you, it takes away your stress levels.
It decompresses you.
It totally decompresses you. And so we were visiting cottages, and then we became obsessed with the idea of the great outdoors. And we were reading about a study, I think it was in New York, where they took all these business people who were really stressed, and they measured their stress levels. Then they got them to take off their shoes and socks and walk across grass. And then they measured their stress levels again. And they come down, so people who are connected to nature have less stress. It's not rocket science. And it's been one of the greatest things for us. We think it's rejuvenating. Justin's actually 87.
I am. It's incredible.
85.
Incredible how well I'm preserved.
This is what the cottage does to you, okay?
I'm 29.
With the right amount of self-focus, it's always a winner.
Yeah. Look at the photographer to change the lights later.
Exactly. It's an amazing thing.
Awesome. Well, listen, I really do appreciate you guys being on our next cover, and we look forward to having the magazine come out.
Oh, we're so excited.
Yeah.
I mean, we've watched your magazine grow, and it's brilliant to see it and to see the support that it has from the design, the contracting, the building, and the lifestyle fraternities in Canada and beyond into North America. So we're thrilled.
Awesome.
Absolutely thrilled.
Terrific.
Cheers to that.
Here's to
Cheers.
HOSS.
Here's to HOSS.